time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Spot Shooters Archery,
Easy Cut,
Packer Maxx,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Scent Lock,
Scent Blocker,
Limb Walker Game Calls,
Buck Baits,
Gut Check,
Stanislavski Release Aids,
Copper John,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Sense Vapor Hunting Products,
and Rebel 6 Rubs. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com.
Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. Your host, Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin. Dan DeFaw, co-host here, sitting here as well. You just got back from a little road trip, Mike.
Yes, I did. It was you know what? A little nervous about the weather. Because when I looked at the morning radar, it was kind of rain, snow, rain, snow, rain.
Right. I actually want to answer a quick question. Jacob Abrams just asked, early show question mark. Yes. Obviously, you haven't been paying attention, Jacob, here for the last couple weeks. Danny and I are now shooting target archery.
It's what we did like last year for the first 12 weeks of the year.
Yep.
Because it's a 12-week league.
Yep. So we need to be at the range about 5:30, and if we do a 7 o'clock show, we're supposed to be at leagues, and that doesn't work. So,
and we figured out last year doing it at 4 o'clock really didn't give us enough time to cram it all in. So we're doing it at 3 o'clock so we can get out of here and actually get over to the range and kind of ease into the night of shooting.
Yeah, well, why don't we ease into some of our good people to help us out?
Why don't we? You know what? And there's nothing better than starting your day, your morning, actually starting the show off like we are today with none other than Hunter's Blend Coffee.
That's right.
And that's right. You can go to huntersblendcoffee.com and check out their new flavors that they have. And when you use the promo code capital UNJ, and when you cash out, you'll get a 10% discount.
Dawn's Early Light is one of their new flavors, right?
Java Rum.
And Java Rum.
Is the two new
Early
flavors.
Dawn or Dawn, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like a breakfast blend.
Yep.
So.
And
I've tried them both, and they're awesome.
They are.
ATA.
They are good.
They are really good.
It is. It's not bad. And so, get over there, check them out. But that's not it, because you can go over to Buck Baits, right? And
well, hang on. I got to catch up here, man. You're pushing me just a little bit. Yes, we go to Buck Baits. Okay, go ahead.
That's right. We can go to Buck Baits. You can go to buckbaits.com. Check out their line of scents and cover scents and other things they have over there in their lineup over there. And upon checkout there, if you use the promo code Up North Journal, you can get 20% off your order when you check out. So that's kind of cool. And last but not least, you can go over to Rebel 6 Rubs, and we will be working again with them this year. So, it's pretty good stuff. Have to talk to Ken, find out how his chili was.
That's right.
And he was going to use it. But if you go over there and use the promo code North Journal, you can get 20% off your checkout there at rebel6rubs.com.
So there you go. The good people who help us.
That's right.
Check them out. Make sure you get over. Save a little money as well. But we love them. Got my Hunter's Blend coffee right here.
I got my little cup.
I got the big tumbler today.
You do got the big tumbler today.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see Denny Steiner's in the house.
And Ronald Gerchow.
Welcome aboard, fellas.
Right, exactly. So, this weekend, it's kind of show season.
Kinda?
Yeah, okay.
Kinda?
We were at the ATA show here in Michigan. One of the first big shows out of the gate is Weller's Hunting Time Expo over at the Deltaplex in Grand Rapids. So I got my youngest daughter Erica, and her and I did a little road trip. I waited a little bit later because I wanted the temperatures to go up. Smart move. Mm-hmm. It was about 35 to 37 all the way over there, so that was cool.
Did you happen to get any tasty meat snacks while you were there? Because we got some of those when we were at ATA.
No, we did not. There was not as good as the stuff that Denny Steiner provided.
That's right.
Because we saw him down at ATA, and we had lunch with him. And
tasty meat snacks.
Ooh, yes, it was good.
If you want to really do something for us, bring tasty meat snacks to a show.
It almost was our lunch.
Right? It was good. Really good. So
shout out to Adam Wynn. Hey, in Byron Nolan. He's watching from South Texas.
South Texas. What's the weather like in South Texas?
Yeah, how warm is it there? But, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of when you go to the shows like that of food being put out. I just get a little nervous. all those hands and everything reaching, and
yeah.
it just. And then we got this coronavirus going on.
Is that something to do with beer? I don't think it is.
It's not, but yeah. So I stay away from them over there. But anyways, I got over there, and if you saw my live shoots yesterday, I saw it. Dave Wilkins, Droptine Outfitters, checked in with Lincoln Rohn, Packer Maxx. Checked in with Scott Bast from Easy Cut. Stopped in at the JPO
Game Calls
booth.
How are they doing over there?
You know what? All reports from all four of them said they were having a great show. And when we got there at 2 o'clock.
Okay, I noticed because I asked you if you're going to go, and I said, hey, you going to the show this morning? You're like, now the weather's kind of iffy. I ain't going.
Yep.
Next thing I know, you're doing a doggone live stream, buzzing down the road.
I was. That's it. I waited for Erica to get home from work, and I said, you want to go? Yep, let's do it. So when we got there at 2 o'clock, it was packed. The parking lot to the right, I'll say, it was a lot full. People were actually walking from not the parking lot itself. They were walking from off-premises parking lots to the place.
That's good.
Yeah.
So people are fired up about hunting season already.
Right, exactly. And luckily I got in. I kind of saw a spot from the road, and I turned in, and there was a couple of spots. So I got in a pretty close spot.
Good.
So we went in. Had to wait in line to get tickets. That's kind of cool, too.
Right.
But it was packed, and I got inside, and I made my rounds and said hi to the fellas, and we kind of walked the show, and saw Nick Percy there and everybody, and it was packed. It was shoulder to shoulder. It's your typical public show, which is good to see people out and about, and plus the weather was perfect. The ice, probably not so good right now.
No, the ice here is horrible right now. Actually, we talked about this on the show last week. Truck went through at Houghton Lake. 3 snowmobiles went through, so and that's on Houghton Lake, and that's a lot further north.
Yeah.
And I got a report back from our camp, our lake, our place is no-go as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's like water standing on what little ice we've got, and the other part's open. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And so from there, we checked out. We stopped at JPO Game Calls. He's working. He's got a new like a push-pull type blowing. You breathe out, you breathe in, you get. You breathe out, you get the doe bleat. You breathe in, you get the doe grunt.
Okay.
So I said, well, we'll get to have you on the show and check that baby out.
Absolutely.
Saw the DNR there, and I kept walking.
You didn't want to have a conversation about doe management or deer management with them?
I really was tempted. Trust me, you have no idea. Mm-hmm. I did want to stop, which I forgot to go back. I was going to stop at the forestry side.
Okay.
And give them a thumbs up, and because that's where I first got my feet wet into the forestry, digging into it.
Right.
So, but then made my rounds and found Lincoln Rohn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Adam Wynn just got off the ice in Livingston County.
How thick is it down there?
Yeah, Adam.
There's guys fishing. I will say that.
There's a couple,
but I ain't getting on the ice.
Yeah,
no way. So,
so I go and visit Lincoln Rohn, and how does Hunting Time Expo compare to Novi? The Outdoorama, I'm assuming,
yeah.
Billy?
It's more hunter
It is
driven.
Way better.
Yeah, it's more hunter driven.
If I can go there, Billy, because we had this conversation, matter of fact, with some of the people there about, are you going to go to Outdoorama? Mm-hmm. And so the Hunting Time Expo on the west side is basically outfitters and vendors.
Okay.
Outdoorama, kind of the same thing, with it's more skewed to outfitters with a little bit of vendors, and also they've got the home and cabin show, I think is what it's called, on the adjacent, but it's in the same building.
Boats?
Well, no, boats are part of the Outdoorama.
Outdoorama, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But the home and the cabin show is like porches, windows, down at Outdoorama.
Okay. I thought I lost track there for a minute.
You get a ticket, you go into both shows. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Hunting Time Expo is strictly all about hunting. Whether you're looking for outfitters, you're looking for product, they had the game tracking dogs were there.
Okay.
But that show over there is, compared to the Outdoorama,
I like it better.
It's way better.
Yeah,
I think too.
I like it better.
one of the comments at the Outdoorama was from some of the people were, where's all the vendors?
Right.
Because they got a bunch of outfitters, they got boats, and they got other stuff. But they got to work on the Outdoorama, and plus the booth space is kind of expensive.
Right.
And that seems to be the number one thing that I'm hearing this year is for the price they pay for the booth, are they getting their bang for their buck?
They draw a whole different clientele. I mean, it's the Outdoorama is you get anybody who's got a free weekend. It's like, hey, we're thinking about putting a new dock in or whatever. Let's go to the Outdoorama show and see what they got. Or the cabin. We're thinking about redecorating or whatever. People that just want to get out and go do something. If you're going to go to the Hunting Time Expo, you're going because you're an outdoorsman. It's a whole different mindset.
To prove that point, talking to Dave Wilkins in Droptine Outfitters, when he's at Outdoorama, he is getting people walking by. And he's got the wall of pictures, right, of all the animals that have been taken. Not all, but some. He's had people literally stop and say, you kill those?
Right, at Outdoorama.
Right.
Yeah.
So what kind of clientele you're getting when they're just walking through.
Yeah, the fur huggers.
Right.
Tree huggers and all that good stuff, so.
But Billy, if you ever get a chance to go over to that show, I would highly recommend going over to that show because it was, like I said, it was wall-to-wall people. And everybody's on the same mindset. Right. It's wear your camo.
Right.
So, but so with that being said, it was packed. I talked to the guys, and they said Friday was shockingly just like it was at that time I was there. I said, really?
It was hopping.
He said, yeah, it was out of the gate. It was wall-to-wall people already.
Okay. So guys are itching to get out, and guys and gals itching to get out, get their hands on new gear. Thinking about turkey season, thinking about maybe habitat, getting food plots, all that kind of stuff, because we really haven't had a winter here in Michigan.
Right, exactly.
I think that's probably driving a lot of it, too.
Ron Gerchow's commenting on the Lansing Expo. He has really gone downhill in the last couple of years.
It has.
We agree.
Yeah, totally agree.
One of the first years, maybe, but it's gone downhill since, and was it last year we were there?
Yeah, we've been the last couple of years, and it just continues to decline.
Yeah, you can see them pulling. You can see the space they're trying to take up.
Same way with ATA. You see it. You see things consolidated and being drawn in away from the walls, outside walls, to make it appear like it's still packed.
Right, exactly. So with that being said, I live streamed from Lincoln Rohn's booth. Yeah. Lincoln Rohn doing really well
with Packer Maxx.
With Packer Maxx, we're going to work with him again this year. And actually met the guy that actually creates the frames for him.
Okay.
Which I figured out after their little conversation they had, which they were kind of really putting each other down.
Okay.
Like, okay, he really, really knows this guy.
Like friends do.
Yeah, or he's going to get throttled really quick.
Right.
So I figured that out, and they explained who it was. I said, oh, that's cool. So, no, he's doing really well. I went live stream on him just to get everybody start mindset thinking, think early. If you're going to do food plots or you're thinking about doing a food plot,
get everything ready early.
Start now. And he said this. He goes, start now because he's had people call. It's Friday, and I want to put a food plot in tomorrow.
What do I do?
Can you get me my Packer Maxx?
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah. He's got to once he gets them in, he's got to build them. Then he's got to get them ready and ship them.
Right, exactly. So unless they're at a place that Packer Maxx is at, you could send them there, but to ship them in a day, not going to happen. Right. So the whole idea was two things. One, start early planning, get a soil sample.
We've said that.
Exactly.
Got to have a soil sample.
Just a reminder from Lincoln Rohn, we'll have him on the show probably in February because he's going to be pretty busy in March. I talked to him.
Okay.
So he'll be on the show. We'll get his insight into how everything's going with Packer Maxx.
Okay.
Then from there, I kind of went over and saw Dave Wilkins. Tell you what, for $745 to get you to go to Africa for 7 days, not a bad deal.
That includes everything but your flight.
Everything but your flight.
Doesn't include animals, though.
Well, it's a la carte animals. So what you shoot, you have to pay for it, right? They have a list, but again, start early because we talked about if you wanted to go to various spots, wherever, because you can go worldwide with this, but some places have draws.
Right.
And they've got deadlines to get in, and you got to get in if you want to beat the deadline for a draw, if you want to go to wherever that he was saying. But
get your passport, get all your paperwork in order, your shots, all that stuff.
Exactly. If you're going to be going around the world, or if you're just going to be heading out west and you need to get into the draw, you got to do it. Make sure you get with whoever, know the dates, get in early, so you're not kind of hurting yourself.
I'll tell you what, we're bumping up on a break here. You were at another booth, but we're going to save that here for the next segment, I think. So let's step outside. We'll take our first break. We come back. We'll see what else. Actually, we got something to show you that Danny brought back from the show. So we're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back, second segment of the show, talking a little bit about the Hunting Time Expo Danny was at yesterday.
Yeah, it was
live streaming a little bit.
It was live streaming and walking around and seeing people. They had puppies there.
How many did you bring home?
None, but I allowed Erica to touch them. And at one place that had pointer Labrador retrievers was really cool. Really cool looking dog. Got talking with him. He is a bird guy.
Bird hunter?
No.
Upland game bird
He has a bird farm.
Okay.
And I got to talk with him, told him I'm up North Journal. He's over by Grand Rapids, but he said, hey, I do a veterans hunt and invite veterans out. Maybe you guys could come out. So I said, we'll give you a call. We'll figure it out. We'll see what's going on.
Right.
I said, Fridays are not really a good day because we have real jobs. Mm-hmm. He says, well, if I do one on a weekend, I'll give you a shout. You guys can come over and maybe do some video.
Absolutely.
And I said, okay. I said, I got his information. I said, I'll give you a touch. Maybe we'll get you on the show. Because I'd like to know a little bit about the farm birds themselves and what you got to do all that. So.
Yeah, they just don't take care of themselves.
Right, exactly. I know they grow them, and I think they grow them, and we'll get all that. So I met a new, name's Pete, I do believe.
Pete the bird farmer.
Yeah.
All right.
I got his information at home. And then as I walked around, we had all our usual stuff there. It was awesome. So it was good. But then I purposely made this my last stop. It was my first and last stop of the show. And I had to stop at Easy Cut booth. And it was awesome. Because you know how that's going to work out with Scott Bast and Easy Cut.
High energy and probably a booth that was busy as all get out.
It was, and he is in the same spot every year.
Okay.
Which is, it's on a corner going from one hall to the next hall.
Good spot. And
what he thought he brought too much stuff.
Okay.
Well,
and he didn't.
He didn't. His pole saws were going out like crazy, and people were stopping by, and once they figured out. You know, people looked at the loppers or they looked at the cutters, and then once he showed them the ratchet style that it was. For instance, a lady picked up the loppers, and I said, "You pick them up, you're going to love them." Well, she says, "Well, they're way too heavy," and then that's when Scott jumped in.
No, they're not.
He says, "No, they're not." He goes, "You carry them collapsed with the buckle." He goes, "You carry them like this. It's not heavy." He goes, "You go up to the tree," so he gets a branch, of course, right? And he hands her and he goes, now put it in there. And then he goes, once you got the loppers onto the tree, he goes, now the weight is distributed to the tree. They're not as heavy.
Right.
And he goes, now this is the easy part. Red handle, right side. Go till it clicks and squeeze. Go to it. And she started realizing they were a ratchet strap. They're a ratchet type.
Right.
And she's like, wow, that's easy. Exactly. So, same thing with the hand cutters, right? So he would show those off, and people just love them. I actually tell you the truth, they've got a green and pink, and I like the pink one.
I want to stop you. Hold that thought.
I'm holding.
We've been waiting for confirmation on this. This is not hunting related, but it's big, big, big news. And I just got it from a guy at my station. ABC News, national ABC News is reporting Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter accident today. We heard it from TMZ to begin with, but that's a pretty big deal. when you start losing stars like that, especially to an accident, a vehicle-style accident. So just want to throw that out there. So
he was in his
40s? Yeah. So, young guy.
And
whether you like the personality or not, he was a force to be reckoned with.
Right, and he was.
And that'd be like somebody, in our hunting world, that'd be like, in the hunting realm, like a Waddell or a Shockey style hunter.
Exactly.
It's big news.
You know what? And we just got confirmation, and we don't know anything else of who other may have
been with them.
So definitely thoughts and prayers going out that way, because especially in a helicopter accident or any accident.
Right, yeah. So I think he retired from the NBA, last year, year before last? Yeah. I'm not a big NBA fan, but, everybody knows who Kobe Bryant is.
Yeah, everybody does, so.
But, sorry about that.
We were looking for confirmation for it. So
back to the loppers.
So back to Easy Cut and the whole system they got, from loppers to the hand ratchets to the 15-foot, 20-foot pole saws to the little G's.
Mm-hmm. That we haven't seen yet.
Well, they're so I asked them about that, and we're still waiting for them to come in, I guess.
Okay.
There's a fly-in shipment and a boat shipment.
Okay.
So he's going to email the winners of our contest that he had last week.
Got 2 away on the show last week. He just popped into the show. So
Adam Wynn and Jerry Lambert.
Yep.
He is going to email you. Don't worry. He's a little busy at the show right now.
Yep.
But and if he doesn't, I'll make sure to remind him. But he says he'll get a hold of those guys because they're not going to come out to the end of February.
Okay.
So there's
just in time for getting out in the woods and getting ready for cutting, shooting lanes and everything, getting ready for hunting season.
Absolutely.
Before green up.
And I'm really excited to see them and to see how little they are.
And how powerful they're going to be.
Right, exactly. Because if they're anything like the big set of loppers and you get a smaller set, which I don't know if they're going to be in a backpack or whatever they're going to be in, it's going to be awesome.
Right.
But, so we talked about Little G coming. And then we talked about the pole saws. He was doing good on the hand. The hand saw was doing good as usual. But then I said, hey, we don't have this item in our repertoire. Mm-hmm. The hand saw. Not just the hand saw, but it's what's it called? There you go.
This has a kamikaze blade on it.
So the hand saw that they have,
the curved hand saw. This is 13-inch.
That's 13-inch. That's a curved hand saw right there. So it's not on a pole. And it comes with a protective case, which actually, if you see right here, you can put on your belt loop.
Yeah, it's got a little
so
holder
you
so you can carry it on your side.
Right, and then this one, which is 12 inches, is a straight blade.
Easy with that thing, man. I got you last year.
I know, that's why we're going to be dueling here. But it's got the same steel, made in Spain. It's got the same steel. It's bendable. It's got a lifetime guarantee. It's a cut on the backstroke as opposed to on the four-stroke.
Just like the pole saws.
Yep, exactly. So you look at that, and another great product. They retail, the straight blade is $50 and the curved blade is $55. But another great little item that you can actually fit probably in your backpack, or like you can do here, you can put it right on your belt when you're walking in the woods.
Yep.
So, it's awesome. Protective, you definitely need that because these things are sharp. As Mike attempted to kill me last year.
I did try to cut your hand off.
Right. So
lifetime warranty.
Yes.
Just like all the other Easy Cut products.
And that's one thing about Easy Cut. Whether you're using their hand loppers, their saws, anything, their customer service is awesome.
The pruners.
And they've got replacement blades, and you can easily, especially the hand pruners, you can get those. If you're, matter of fact, I got one that's kind of chewed up. I want to see if I can get a blade next time I see those guys, and I want them to show me how to. We'll do a video as to how to switch one out.
Okay, and sharpen. I've sharpened one of mine. One of mine, I put it through the ringer on my hand pruners. And
Is that the one you did on the fence?
Yeah, and I actually got into the fence a little too much and dulled the blade on it because I was just in there snipping grapevines off of it.
Right, exactly.
And I'm like, well, I've never really sharpened one of these, but the kit that I had a sharpener, so I was like, well, we're going to try to sharpen this blade. And I hit it with that stone or that little
the hand file sharpener.
Yeah, I hit it with that, and it took the burrs off, and the thing was razor sharp again.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible. So.
Yeah, so he showed us that on the live feed, as you saw, and we've got a couple now to have in our toolkit. So when we hit the woods, actually, if you're going out turkey hunting or you're doing something, you need to,
well, it ain't gonna be long. I'm hoping. I'm down in Indiana in March at some point working on the property down there. We're already starting to talk. We haven't secured the lease yet for next year. That's coming up. So if everything goes like it should, I'll have all my easy cut gear burning trails through the woods down there.
That's awesome. Is it just about a couple weeks ahead of us?
Yeah, roughly.
Down in Indiana, a little couple weeks? Okay.
Yeah, roughly.
Because I know way up where I'm at, it's a lot of weeks behind.
Last year, I think we were down there the first or second week of March, and there was actually still snow on the ground.
Oh, okay.
So,
and the way this winter's going, because you know what, come March and April, I'm afraid to see what's going to happen. Because right now, for the next week, we're going to be above 32. Our average temperature is 29.
Okay.
I don't know when winter's going to show up, and I hope it doesn't show up in April, May, when we have fawning season.
No, I hear you, man. It's we get into May, especially up in the North Country, when they start. If you get one of them late freezes up there or late snows, they can cause havoc. So, but other than that, good show.
Oh, it was fantastic. I love that show. And I want to talk to Ken about this, but I actually got some good feedback on the other show that was the same weekend as the ATA, which was the fishing show.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a little investigating, but it sounds like we might need to hit that show as well.
Okay.
But great show. Like I said, that show is the west side Woods and Water to the east side's September Woods and Water. You know,
gotcha.
it's like they play that way to me.
I got you. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and step outside. We'll take our next break, and we'll kind of dive into a couple little other things that we got going on. And got a couple questions for Danny I want to ask, and I'll answer them as well. So we're going to step outside, and we'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back, third segment of the show. So Danny took off on a little trip, got back, everything's good. I got a new saw in my arsenal. Can't wait to get that thing fired up and rip some
saw.
Yeah, cut some shooting lanes, getting ready for hunting season. So, but you know, hunting season's kind of over now. At least the 2019 season. Actually, there is 5 days left of urban archery in Oakland County, which is right across the street from where you live.
Yeah.
But I haven't partaken in that. Don't plan to. Just don't have time. But you know, kind of looking back at things, and I've been watching some other hunting shows and listening to a couple other podcasts lately. And actually, yeah, I don't normally do that. But here lately, I don't know. I've just got a hankering for listening to other people and getting ideas and things. And you know, looking back at the 2019 hunting season as a whole, let's call it outdoor season. I don't want to limit it to hunting. What was the biggest thing that you learned last year, and how do you plan on applying it? I stumped him.
No, I just got to put it in order. Hard work pays off.
Okay.
The proof in my pudding was when we went in. We had our property managed cut. Then that gave me an opportunity to start working some fields.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I'm using the basics of a drag, the Packer Maxx. We now have a tractor, but we don't have like a rototiller part.
Right.
So, with that being said, I'm going kind of with the basics. Walking it, picking up rocks by hand, clearing them out, dragging it with the four-wheelers, mowing it with a lawnmower. And we started that right away. First year, I could get in there, and with the help of a Wayne Sitton, kind of telling me what to plant, getting a soil sample, taking the time a week, whatever weekend I was up there, spreading fertilizer everywhere. Last October, my daughter sat on that field, one of the fields, and she said, because we're allowed to bait in the UP, She said they're walking right by the bait and they're just feeding off the field.
Okay.
And they were more interested in the greens in the field than they were in the bait. And to me, that was so exciting. That was I got a pat on the back to say, hey, you did something right.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to keep that going for this coming year. I probably got to do another soil sample and take care of that, see where I'm at. I'd like to work on another field, but I'm going to have to get a bigger piece of equipment, I think. I don't think my four-wheelers and stuff can knock down and there's a couple big rocks in there, I think, too.
Okay.
So that is one thing that I learned. Hard work pays off.
Okay.
And if you work at it, and my brother helped me. We planted some apple trees. If they make it, they make it. If they don't, it's I'm still trying.
Right.
We cut the field, but stuff like that. When you work your own land, we didn't get nothing. We're not allowed to shoot any does, which is I won't comment. We had some shooters on camera that we could have shot. We let a couple bucks go that were really close to itchy trigger fingers, but we let them go.
Has that been a process for you over the last couple of years?
Not shooting the...
letting deer walk. Has that been a standard practice for you?
I've developed it.
Okay.
I'd rather see... There's other hunters that, whether it be my daughters or if we have a friend up, I'd rather see them get a deer. And if they do shoot one that... If it meets the law, it's the law. That's fine.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Right.
So I'm fine with that. I'm more to the, let other people have fun, and I just want to be there for the experience, and being able to provide that is awesome. That's just, whether it be my daughter Kelly, Gabby, any friends of ours that are up there. I wish we could shoot does because that'd be easy.
Kind of a mentor process.
It is, and that's the thing. And so last year, besides the field, Gabby was faced with that decision to shoot or not to shoot, and she let it go.
Okay.
It probably took everything she had because it's a beautiful deer. It was a 7-point, I think, and she chose not to.
Right.
I said it's up to you, and it by law it was okay. 3 on one side.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm hoping that deer made it this year, and hopefully we'll reap the benefits of that. But so that's the hard work pays off thing, I guess, would be from last year. 2019 would be the mantra.
Okay. How do you plan on applying that to this year?
This year?
I mean, are you gonna
right back at it? More hard work, trying to expand what we've done to other parts of the property. We started work like last year, 4th of July. I knew where I wanted to put the stand, but I didn't have a good trail to get there.
Okay.
So the three of us, Gabby, Kelly, and I, we made a trail back there.
Okay.
It's just, it was July. You're sweating, but it's hard work.
Yeah.
And we did it. And come fall, that trail was there, and we went right. It was easy. This year we got another trail we need to go back in. We reopened the trail in November of last year. It's definitely got to be worked on the last 75 yards. Because that's where, for the most part, it was still there, and we could see it, which was kind of easy. But then the skidders and everything must have got in there really good, and it's different. So we kind of got the trail back, but now we'll have to go in and probably really go in there and just drag it back and forth and cut what we need to do.
Okay.
So that's working the property, and that's, again, hard work pays off.
Hard work pays off. Okay. For me, I've seen that as well this year with the work that we've done, getting in, working out, trying to better our health. That paid off on the elk hunt, and I wasn't expecting it to pay off so huge, and it did. So I mean, but that's, I guess, my main takeaway from this year is surround yourself with good, ethical people, and that goes with what happened at our camp last year.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going with that one. Okay, now I know what you.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm ethical and I'm around you, so I get it.
I keep you around for a while.
I know. Yeah.
No, I think it's really important, and that's what we're going to continue to do, or at least I'm going to continue to do. It's what we're doing at our camp, and we've seen the dividends pay off this hunting season, just by the sheer fact of what transpired on our place. The amount of game we saw on our place. But if you don't surround yourself with good, ethical people, and I'll even go as far as to say the same basic mindset of hunting or outdoorsmanship or whatever that is that you're trying to do. Maybe it's a fish camp. But what if you don't have like-minded goals, if you don't surround yourself with people that have like-minded goals, it destroys everything you're trying to do. You'll be mired down and continuously spinning your wheels trying to get ahead and move forward with something, and you can't attain that goal when you've got such huge obstacles in your way.
Well, it becomes that effect right there. You have a goal, but then if the person isn't like mine, they end up usually crossing your path, and it becomes a roadblock.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if
literally,
right. And if then things will calm down. Okay, I'm going to get back on track, and then it comes back as another roadblock. You're right. I totally agree with you.
I seen this yesterday. I saved way too many emails, and I was going through my email folder, and I was trying to clean stuff out and just get stuff out. And I typically keep things that are hunting related, especially if they have to do with our camp. I'll keep those because it's just it's a chain of dialogue that you can fall back to. And I was like, man, this whole mindset of what was going on has been a continuous problem for the last however many years. And I'm like, and it blew my mind. I was like, it was just constant email after email after email, and it was the friction and things. And with that being said, now we've totally turned things over.
You needed to flush the system.
Yep, and we have. And now we're back on track with moving forward with what we want to do. And it's taken time to, when you get that stop and you have to just do what you need to do to be able to continue to move forward, you got to completely stop. When you stop, it takes time to get the machine moving again, whatever the machine is, for whatever the purpose you're trying to achieve. So, and that's where we're at now. We're moving forward, but we're coming out of first gear and hope to be shifting into second gear this coming season.
Well, you kind of tore it down to the ground. Now you're rebuilding it, you're reshaping it, and you're going to have the opportunity now to get the people of the same mindset to work with you instead of being a roadblock.
And that's like with even sports teams. I mean, especially with us here in Michigan, we see it all the time. We tear teams apart, in the rebuilding process. The Tigers are going through a rebuild. The Red Wings are. Pistons really don't know what they're doing right now.
Don't even mention the Lions because they don't count.
That's but those things happen. You go down that road, things aren't working out the way. Even though you've got maybe some great people, but it just doesn't gel.
Okay, you hit a great analogy there. With those two teams, Detroit Red Wings and Detroit Tigers, they have to bring up their farm system, right? Because they depleted their farm system for so many years, and now they get nobody on the farm. Like hunting, we're losing people left and right, so we need to bring in new hunters.
Yep, and that's going to lead me to my next question, but go ahead and continue that thought.
And whether you're 5 to 95, whether they've never been out in the woods, maybe they've been out in the woods and they stopped going, get them back out there. Whether it's a gun, archery, crossbow, just get
fishing pole,
something, get them back out in the woods,
whatever.
And reverse the trend of we're losing people out in the field. Let's reverse the trend. Get the youngsters back out there. Let them smell the wood and let them pile along in the woods and the leaves and everything, and show them what a great time it is to be out there. Whether you're watching a squirrel or a whitetail, it's fun, and you see you get them out of the. It's a video game. It ended. I restart. It was over in 10 minutes. Maybe. Yep. Nope.
Or you get mad because you didn't turn out the way you thought it would, and you get mad, so you start another. It's that it sucks you in. And actually, it's interesting to bring that up because we're dropping our Pedro de Ampora interview this week from ATA, and that actual whole thought process right there was talked about. He was talking about that with kids.
Yep.
In bringing up his son and seeing these kids get sucked into these games. So, and getting them involved in the outdoors.
Well,
how it changes.
And our own Ken Cicluna is going to go through that with his youngster.
Right.
He's going to try to get him out into the woods. But ultimately, it'll be his decision.
Right.
Whether he decides he wants to be a hunter, a fisherman, part-timer for all I know.
Yeah.
But Ken's going to try to lead him down that road and show him what makes being outdoors so great. Whether right now you're shed hunting, if you can be out there.
Right.
Or if you could be on the ice.
Trapping.
All the way into trapping.
Trapping season.
That's another aspect that you hear about. Sure, fur prices are down, but it's something to get out there and do. And it actually needs to be done.
Predator control, yeah.
Right. We got Chris Kreiner trying to shoot the coyotes. Then you take them into spring, working the land, being out there, showing them how to cut a tree down, for gosh sake. That whole leading by example, mentoring them, whatever you've got in your tool bag to show to other people. And like Ronald Gertschow says, integrity, doing the right thing when no one is watching.
Yeah, that's what Adolf Leopold said. That's what integrity is: doing the right thing when nobody else is watching. Holding yourself accountable, and that's, like I said, I guess back to what my answer was. It's surrounding yourself with good, ethical people. They have a common goal.
Exactly,
and I strongly believe that, and that's the thing I really learned this year. Kind of learned it the hard way because we've been putting up with things for so long, and it finally came to a head. It's changing now.
Exactly that. You're putting up with it, and you become a blind eye to it until something of what happened happens, and then all of a sudden you sit back and go, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
right. So,
all right. I tell you what, we're gonna step outside. We'll take our last break of the show. We'll come back. I got one more question, and we'll see if we can chase that question to the end of the show. We'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
Last segment of the show, a little philosophical talk.
Yeah, it is. We
reflecting.
We've been. I was over on the other side of the state. Come back. Mike's got some questions for me, which actually is kind of a deep thought questions. Actually, you should have these questions and ask yourself.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you do when you're out in the woods.
Absolutely.
Why am I staring at a squirrel for the fourth hour in a row?
Yeah. What have you learned this last year? What has life or the woods or the outdoors taught you? You got a comment, drop it in the line there. We're glad to chew the fat a little bit with you on it. So
right, exactly. And one of the things you mentioned about surrounding yourself in getting to work out and getting into the gym and doing that.
Yep.
Those people there are all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
And they can help you just as much as a fellow hunter can help you.
Absolutely. I talk to a lot of people at the gym,
And there's people we meet that just because you're wearing a PSE shirt that day says, hey, all of a sudden...
strikes a conversation.
It does.
Yeah.
And then...
actually, that happened this week.
Did it? and like our trainer, right?
Yeah.
You get to meet him, at first, and then you get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
And now... he's your trainer, and
you're trying to get him on the show, and you still struggle with scheduling.
Right, exactly. But it's stuff like that. And you see people at the gym, all walks of life, all shapes, sizes, but they're trying to better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's walking on the treadmill for 5 minutes to 55 minutes, whether it's banging the weights like Ben does, and you just get there, and it's making yourself better. Shout out to John Dudley. Showing you what you can do to better yourself health-wise. And Pedro was the same way.
Embrace the suffering.
Embrace the suffring.
Enjoy the suffering. That's what
right?
it was. That was his mantra. You need to enjoy the suffering. And really it is. It's you get to a point where you beat yourself, on your workout. You break yourself down, and then once you're done, you feel that relief, or that freshness and renewness of your body rebuilding. And whether it's maybe even going on a hunt, and we talked about this many times before, where you get out into a situation and you enjoy the suffering. You have to. For us to be hunters and to sit out in 20 degree or 0 degrees in a tree stand for 6 hours and it's snowing. I did this one year, sit out in a tree stand for 6 hours and it was about 5 degrees and it was blowing snow. But you know what? The persistence paid off, enjoying the suffering, so to speak, and I was able to take a late season doe.
And
it's what it's about.
And you were able to harvest something. And if you don't, reflect on what you've seen.
Yeah.
Because God's creations out there are pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whether it's the big snowflakes coming down or I'm not a big fan of rain. Definitely not a fan of thunderstorms. But there again, I've been in the UP, gale force winds warning. Just hearing that coming through the trees is amazing.
The power of nature
is power, and it's just like wow.
So I guess that leads me to my next question.
Steve DeNoyer is watching from Traverse City.
Hey, Steve, what's going on?
And Gina's listening.
So looking back at last season, I asked you, what's one thing you learned?
Yep.
What was the most exciting or the one takeaway moment of the year, outdoor moment, that didn't involve you taking game, and why? As you look back. He's speechless again, folks.
That was Gabby. Go back to Gabby's deciding whether to shoot or not to shoot. She texted me left and right, and I'm like, it's your call.
Seeing somebody make that growth?
And that was half of it, and the other half was getting her dad up there to hunt.
Okay.
He talked about hunting years back, but he became too busy with work.
Why is that so memorable to you?
Because when you start making the excuse, I'm too busy for work, well, work, guess what, people?
Mm-hmm.
Work can replace you like that.
And they do.
Right.
I've seen it.
Exactly. I saw it last year.
And I experienced it, but I've seen it.
Right. So,
and that's when you start working 26 hours overtime in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, that's a little bit different. But it's that, you know what? You are nothing but a number.
Yeah.
And when you're dead, you can't say, man, I should have.
Wish I would have, could have. I won't say who, but somebody I know that was close to my family passed away this week. A little bit younger than me. Case in point, there is no more going back. There's no more, I wish I would have done this or I wish I would have done that. If you wait until you have time, you'll never do it.
Right. So, those two things happening in the same week, I think for me was awesome. Did you have a good time? Yep. That's what most important thing, getting back out in the woods. Gabby making that leap to not shoot one because she just wanted to let it go and let it grow. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the neighbor didn't shoot it. Anyways, seeing her dad come up, take time off of work, and just, here it is.
Be there.
Man.
Yeah.
So, no, it was good, and yeah, that was the week my truck died.
That's right. That kind of puts things into perspective real quick for you.
Right, exactly. So, but no, those are the two. What about you?
Looking back at this year, my whole way of hunting changed. I was the only one at my camp when I hunted this year. There's no other hunters there when I was on the property. And I thought, this is going to be really good. I'm going to like this, being alone. Well, I soon found out I need people enjoy the hunt with, to be participating with, have somebody to talk to after a hunt. The takeaway moment for me this year was hunting with a young guy down in Indiana for a full week.
Oh, yeah.
Derek Getson, young guy, he's just out of high school, and being able to share a week in the field and mentoring a young guy, and bringing him into the Mossy Oak Gamekeeper fold and giving him that opportunity to watch himself grow and become a hunter, being able to, the excitement of him texting me and saying, I got a doe down,
Right.
And then we go out, we track it, find it, bring it out, field dress it, watching him field dress and go through that whole process. I think this was only the second or third deer he had taken. So, he's a new hunter. And then, butchering deer with him. We went all the way from field to fork because once we got back, we took the hearts and cooked them up, his and my doe. Cooked them on the grill and had doe heart, And so for me, the experience of taking a new hunter, even though he was a hunter, but he was knew we're at it, and bringing him into that full outdoor experience, in the mentoring process and kind of watching somebody plant their boots on the ground and take charge.
Well, that's the thing, and it doesn't hurt to have more people in camp.
No,
because obviously more things can be seen, and done. And if I'll take last year, we only got one deer up when I was there at camp. There's 3 of us in camp, but at the end of the night, all of us went out and retrieved it.
Right, camaraderie.
Yeah, we dragged it out. We waited till evening, dragged it out. But yeah, that whole
camaraderie of camp is powerful. It is a powerful, powerful thing. It goes right back to surrounding yourselves with people that are good and ethical. I think those two things kind of go hand in hand because once you get that, you get that camaraderie.
Yep.
With other people, and we need it as hunters. We need it to move forward into bring new people into hunting or the outdoors and promote it in a good light.
And I think that's a good example when you bring a new hunter is if you can share it with more than I know one-on-one is good in doing that, but if you can share it with a group, the new person gets to see the different aspects of everybody's, whether it be a quirk, hey, I got to put my right boot on first,
yeah,
or I got to wear this hat, or
right,
and then they see the different people and what they do, how they hunt, their styles.
Right,
it gives them the more of a hey, I fit in.
Absolutely.
And so to do it is great. And like you said, you see Donnie Vincent going way in the middle of nowhere, but he's got a cameraman with him. So he actually does
There's a crew. Yeah, he's got a film crew. So he's got people that he hunts with.
Right. And you were all by yourself there. And I can totally understand that. Totally.
So, for me, I guess the takeaway moment was mentoring a new person, kind of bringing them into the fold and making them a part of the group, what have you. To me, it's powerful. It's a real powerful thing to do when you get somebody like that and you take them under your wing. Because my kids, they're grown now. My youngest daughter's 18; she's graduating high school, and all four of my kids still love the outdoors. They've got their own things they do, but their lives are busy. And my grandson is 3.5. He's not really old enough. This year, I want to get him. I want to take him to. If we get the lease, I want to take him to Indiana, and I want him to get his hands in the mud and help.
Right.
A little bit, and just have fun.
But make it fun. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's work, but it's fun work. Exactly. And as our kids get older, they got their jobs. Yeah. And then when you're trying to plan that week, whatever you're going to do, you start, okay, can you make it? Can you make it? And that's how we're starting to roll. And I'll talk with my girls and say, okay, I'm going to go up this week. Anybody going with me? I know we'll be up. So we'll see what their schedule's.
Right.
But being more people in camp, I know we were already messed up for October of this year because somebody's going to put a wedding in October 10th.
That's not good.
And I said, I won't have that conversation. But he knows who he is. I said, what did you do? But stuff like that. But yeah, more people in camp is a great time.
All right. Well, we're kind of wrapping up the show here. A couple quick little things. I don't know if anybody's been on our page lately and saw the video.
You want to play dodgeball?
No.
Is that what we're playing tonight?
Oh, I can bring this to the range, but I don't think they'll want it there.
Well, we're going to shoot that thing if we do.
I went and got this. John Dudley from Knock On TV, Knock On Nation. Give us an exercise you can do for archery to help your rotator cuff to help you hold steady on the shot. So I went and got a dodgeball, a little small one here. It's kind of squishy. For those of you on the podcast, you'll have to come watch. But there's a step of exercises you can do with this, and that's what I got this, and I'm going to start doing that and see how that goes.
There you go.
So that's one thing. And then I don't know if you want to open that and grab one of those out. Speaking of working out a little bit, something else we're going to try. We took pre-workout. I've kind of stayed away from that a little bit here lately. These are Cliff
Energy shots.
They're
gel, actually.
It's a gel. We heard some of the guys that do the extreme hunting, if you've watched those interviews, talk about taking gels with them, giving them some sustainable energy. So we did a little bit of looking into this, and this is something that we're going to try here for a while and see how it works for us.
Absolutely.
Take one of these, right before we go to the gym and seeing if it gives us a little boost of energy, and we'll see how that rocks. But so we got that. Something else that's coming up. We're doing, like I said, the Pedro de Ampora interview that we're dropping hopefully tomorrow.
And it's not. And I'll tell you right now.
It's not your typical interview.
It's not your typical. Hey, you climbed a mountain, you shot some ibex. No, it's not.
Or chamois or tur or what have you.
That's another one.
Yeah,
chamois. And that's what you dry your car off.
Yeah.
No, not quite. But no, great interview coming up this week. We're going to drop it one day this week.
Probably tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm guessing. And we just put out an interview with Tim Andrus from Rush Outdoors. That's out there. The one from Donnie Vincent and John Dudley are there as well. And Pigman, which we launched. Actually, I'm probably going to relaunch that one, rebroadcast that one at some point here. But, go check those videos out. There's just some really good stuff. It's not your typical, hey, why you're shooting PSE, or hey, which bow are you shooting? I mean, we ask that briefly, but we dig a lot deeper into some things.
The whole thing is we're all under the same PSE nation.
Right.
We all shoot PSE. We're a team. We're all a team. We're not, whether you're John Deadly, whether you go, that's the one side. Then you've got Lancaster with today.
Yeah.
We had a whole bunch of PSE shooters over there shooting.
Yep.
Steven Hansen, a couple other guys. But we're all the PSE nation.
Absolutely. So we got those. Go over, check out those interviews. And we'll have some product review coming out. But, here coming up in 2 weeks, if everything goes according to plan, if good Lord's willing, the creeks don't rise, we're going to be up at Turtle Lake for the deer necropsy this year. And we're going to get to talk with Wayne and Luke Sitton and Dr. James Kroll. And we'll be bringing you some stuff back from that. And actually, I'm working to get a date nailed down to get Wayne on the show and talk about, as this winter season starts to head into spring, what we need to be thinking about and doing to start planning for next hunting season. What are some of those key things? Also, I believe it's March 2nd, Monday night. Danny and I will be speaking at the Frankenmuth Sportsman's Club.
Yep.
Giving a talk at a wall game dinner there. And we've got Outdoorama coming up.
We've got a whole bunch of shows coming up.
And actually, we're going to have an interview with a former Air Force general coming up, and I don't know whether we're going to live stream that or not, but we're going to record that, I know for sure, on February 29th at a very, very unique venue. It is out of this world. I've seen photos. I'm not going to tell you where it's at because I want it to be a surprise, but it is incredible.
Steve DeNoyer will be at the necropsy too.
Okay, Steve, make sure that you come by, say hi, put name and face together so we can talk and chat. So that's always a good time there.
Yes, sir.
So that pretty much fills up our whole month of February.
February and March, and
we need to get Jennifer Drake on.
I want to hear a wrap up of elk, and she's been out cat hunting.
Yeah, they've been doing some bobcat hunting. She's out very, very energized, active outdoors person that gets out and guides. And they're doing predator hunting right now. She had a very successful elk hunt here in Michigan with a hunter. So we've got to get the timing right on that. Lincoln Rohn, I'm going to get him on, talk about food plots. So there's a lot of stuff coming. So other than that, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. Let's go do some shooting.
We got to head to the archery range. But I tell you what, for those of you on the live stream, if you want to hang on, we'll entertain a few questions if you got them.
Hey, are we going to go get a flock of chickens?
I wondered if we were going to talk about that. Flock of chickens, that's all we're going to say. Go back. You'll find a video on that from last Sunday night. So for those of you on the podcast, that'll do it for us this week, folks. We'll see you again next week.
And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. This episode was brought to you by
PSE Archery,
Spot Shooters Archery,
Easy Cut,
Packer Maxx,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Scent Lock,
Scent Blocker,
Lim Walker Game Calls,
Buck Baits,
Gut Check,
Stanislavski Release Aids,
Copper John,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Sense Vapor Hunting Products,
and Rebel 6 Rubs.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.